Hey everybody, so last night were the VMAs 2017. There was a lot of good performances, there was a lot of great moments, there was a lot of sucky performances, there was a lot of sucky moments. But really what I wanted to do is just talk about some of my favorite moments of the night and some of my least favorite moments of the night and kind of just give a review of it. I didn't look at the red carpet, did any of that, so it's just going to be what I saw on the broadcast. And then also some stuff I wanted to see at the VMAs that I didn't get to. So this is going to be a very much a off-the-cuff rant about the VMAs, unedited, just going to throw it up there in my bathroom, because why not? First off is Katy Perry. She was the host this year, and I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, she had the Witness album just come out. It was very lukewarm. I mean, I listened to it and the music was all over the place. Swish Swish is okay. I mean, it has a good beat. It's not my favorite song. I don't know, Katy Perry hasn't really caught on again. I think this album was supposed to be her big comeback and it really hasn't done anything. And I think the VMAs this year hosting, it was supposed to be like her big comeback and her big career boost. And it just didn't do anything. I think the part of the problem is the writers. I think if you're gonna go on the VMAs and you're not a comedian, you're not normally a host, you need to have a good set of writers. And they didn't give her any writers. I mean, or the writers she had were not good enough. The material was not good enough. There was that cringy moment at the beginning when, where a whole spiel was she was up in space and she came back and she was talking about all the trendy stuff from the last year. She just sounded like somebody's mom showed up at their high school party. It was odd. And then she talked about the Handmaid's Tale made a reference where they had like the cloak and everything and the hood from the show, the veil, whatever that was called. And she said it was trendy. It just came off as very unsensitive to the subject matter of the show. And it was just, I don't know, she tried to make a lot of references like all the bad going on in the world right now, and it just was bad. It just came off as just desensitized to everything that was going on. I didn't like it, and it just perpetually got worse. I just felt bad for watching the whole time. And then we get to the performance for Swish Swish, and again it was just lukewarm. It was supposed to be her big moment. She was the host and she got to perform her song, and it was just lukewarm. She didn't dance that well. Nicki Minaj came out at the end, and I love Nicki. She's one of my favorites, but Nicki did not want to be there. She forgot some of the words. I love her, but she just didn't care enough. I don't know, this is supposed to be good for Katy Perry, but this is just not her time. Hopefully, I don't know if her tour got postponed, but she's going on tour now. Hopefully that works out for her, but I just don't think this album worked. Another thing that happened was Taylor Swift's new music video premiered, Look What You Made Me Do. And I'm really not a Taylor Swift fan. I'm not. I don't like Taylor Swift. I like some of her songs, pretty much it. But this was a good video, regardless of what people think. It was a really good video. I was happy to see Tasha Call in it. I thought it dealt a lot with like her snake reference, and she kind of addressed all the rumors about her that yes, she can be a bitch, yes, she's done nasty things, yes, she spread rumors, but you know what, like that's her. And she's kind of like, you know what, if you're going to label me as the bitch, I'm going to become the bitch. So I'm kind of curious to see like what her new album's going to be like and kind of what the tone of it's going to be. It seems like she's taking on this villainous evil role. And I think that's very punk rock, really cool direction for her to go in. But I love the video. I thought it was weird that after all that's happened between Katy and Taylor, that once again, Taylor Swift has overshadowed Katy at the event that she's hosting. That just is out of my mind. Like, she's still one-upping Katy Perry, and that must piss her off that her video premiered during it. because I think people talk more about the 3 to 5 minute video than Katy Perry's entire hosting gig that night. It was a little awkward. Next was Pink. Pink got the Video Vanguard Award, the Michael Jackson Award, where it goes off an artist from the last like decade or so that has the most iconic music videos. It's kind of like an icon award. Like Britney Spears has gotten it, Justin Timberlake, Beyonce. There's a lot of big artists who have gotten it because it's an amazing amount of work. Now this year they announced Pink, and many people said, oh, Pink, I don't know. I was not really sure, but then I watched her performance, and I just forget, like, the Dear Mr. President video, So What, Raise Your Glass, like all the big videos she's had, and she's had the iconic moments of her on the lawnmower. It was just, I don't know, I forgot how edgy and how fun and relevant Pink was. And I think really this performance kind of showcased all of her talent and all the great songs in her discography. I think my favorite part was her new song. What was it? It was What About Us? What About Us? That was such a good song. And I think it's really timely right now to bring everybody together and kind of, what about us? What about these people? We need to be raising these people up. So I thought it was a really great message. And her speech too, especially to her daughter. I think Pink, her speech about, you know, her daughter being called a boy, not being pretty enough, and her speech about gender identity and nobody should care. I think that's really the narrative that should be in the discussion about gender identity. Not that Vogue cover that came out a couple weeks ago. I think a conversation like Pink is having, that's what we should be basing the conversation on. Talk about performances. I thought there was a lot of great performances. Kendrick Lamar opened the show, and Kendrick was fantastic. I mean, it had the fire, ninjas, everything. And plus, I think DNA and Humble were some of the greatest songs off his record. The record just released, and I'm sorry, I don't know how Ed Sheeran beat him for Artist of the Year. I don't get it, because if I could name one of the hit songs of this year, it would be Humble. I think Kendrick Lamar is the Artist of the Year. I don't know how Ed Sheeran won that, because after Kendrick, they had the opening, and then Ed Sheeran performed, and I almost fell asleep. I don't get Ed Sheeran. Yes, he has a pretty voice, but it doesn't really, his music doesn't do anything for me. I thought his performance was really boring. He brought a couple guests on, which really bumped up the performance, but comparing Ed to Kendrick, Kendrick Lamar definitely wins. So I think he should have gotten Artist of the Year. Let's see, 30 Seconds to Mars. 30 Seconds to Mars, they did a speech at the beginning. It was a tribute to the lead singer of Linkin Park who just committed suicide. And they basically did a whole story of mental health. That was a big thread throughout this award ceremony. We'll get to the other performance in a minute. But 30 Seconds to Mars did this kind of like this infrared performance. It was really cool. They had lights out for it. And a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was really interesting. It was something that not a lot of people do on the VMAs, and they took a risk, and I think it paid off. I think it was probably one of the more creative performances that night. Some other favorite performances that I had were, they cut the Las Vegas for a couple performances, and it was Demi Lovato. She performed Sorry Not Sorry, which is, I think, the song of the summer. Demi Lovato did great. DNCE performed with Rod Stewart, and they performed the song Don't You Think I'm Sexy. And I thought those were some of the more lively, some of the better performances that night. I don't know, I thought DNCE and Demi Lovato didn't really get a lot of hype that night, but they have some of the best music. So I love DNCE. I think they're kind of underrepresented. I really think they should be in more broadcast. I'd love to go see them on tour. They're really underrated. Nobody really talks about them. Shawn Mendes. I always thought of him as this Justin Bieber copycat, and his performance wasn't that exciting, but I thought he had good vocals. I thought he got the crowd going. He was one of the better performances that night. Not the best, but definitely not the worst. I thought he did a good job, and honestly, Shawn Mendes, a lot of his music I've heard on the radio in the last year, he has really catchy songs. Like, he's a good artist. I have to hand it to him. Lorde. I know Lorde had the flu. I understand that. But even with this new music and her album coming out, and she needs this platform, if the song has not come out, like the music has not fully come out yet, I don't think she should have performed. I think she should have canceled it. She took her song, did a remix to it, and did this dance routine, did not sing. Which is fine, but Lorde is not known for dancing. She's kind of in the same category as like Sia and Adele. They're not really dancers, they're more vocalists. So when you have Lorde in a weird Claire's Forever 21 tutu, throwing herself around the ground with a bunch of dancers, I didn't get it. A lot of people enjoyed it and there's gifs of it, but no, I don't like it. Then we had Fifth Harmony. Fifth Harmony started at the beginning of their performance with the 5 members on top, and then as soon as they started with the downbeat, one girl threw herself off the back, and it was supposed to be like Camilla leaving the group, and I mean, it was exciting. People talked about that moment, but it wasn't needed. I mean, this performance was their first on the VMAs since they broke up with her, and I think it was a moment for them to stand out on their own and make a statement, like, we're 4 now, we're still as good, and I don't think they need to throw shade at anybody. I think they could have just performed. Plus, for winning Pop Video of the Year, even though I like Fifth Harmony, I just didn't think their performance was as good. I don't like that song, Down. It just repeats the same word for 3-4 minutes. I don't know. I just don't think it was that good. I think for winning Pop Video of the Year, you need to have a better performance. And then we had the most surprising last night, which was Logic. Now, I have not heard of Logic or the other 2 singers that performed with him. I have not heard of them before. And what I think is great about the VMAs is not only does it showcase amazing, iconic performers, but it also showcases new talent. There's a lot of new singers that really didn't get a chance to shine last night. They got to perform, but they were kind of the act before commercials, so we really didn't get to see them a lot. And what I liked about this was it kind of spotlighted these 3 new performers, and they had this great message. Kesha came out and talked about mental health struggles and gave the number for the suicide hotline, which was actually the title of this new song. It was the 1-800-273-8255. That's the name of the song. And Logic came out and started rapping about I'm glad I'm not dead, and basically an uplifting song of keep going on and keep living, and basically his own struggles and other people's struggles with mental health. And then Alyssa Cara came out, and she performed before the song Scars When You're Beautiful, which I love that song. And then Khalid came out later and sang. And again, I've never heard of these 3 artists, but now I want to know more because I thought they had a creative performance. They were some of the more moving artists of the night. I thought they were great. And it was really interesting for them to take a stance on mental health and suicide issues, which that's not normally something that's talked about during an awards show. I mean, it's not, as Logic said, it's not something covered in the mainstream media. So it was a great risk, great message, and I think it really paid off. I mean, they said that the suicide hotline for prevention, it spiked 50% after that, which means about 50% more young people in this country got help after this because they got this word out, the suicide hotline, where you can call in and get help. Okay. despite all those performances, there was great ones, there was bad ones, I thought there was a lot of missed opportunities. Number one being Kesha. I mean, Kesha just released the album. Praying has been all over YouTube, that music video, and this was the Video Music Award. I don't know why Kesha didn't perform. I think she should have performed. There was a lot of people like Ed Sheeran and Miley Cyrus, a lot of just forgettable people. So I don't know why they didn't capitalize on having Taylor Swift make her big comeback. I know probably has to do something with Dr. Luke and legal issues, I'm sure. I really wish we could have see her do Praying or even Woman or one of her new songs. I would have died if they would have done Praying on the VMAs. That would have been the moment of the night. Another thing too is Nicki Minaj. I wish they could have had her sing Kissing Strangers with DNCE. They just had that song out, she has a great verse on it. And I knew they were going to have her do Katy Perry's song, but I'm missing Nicki Minaj. I mean, she did some iconic performances. People did not like her Grammy performance, but I thought it was weird, it was different, and kind of shook up the Grammys, which does not get shaken up very much. I miss Nicki Minaj. Like, I'm glad she's being featured on all these songs, but I want more music and more performances from her. I kind of miss like the old Nicki Minaj, that crazy Roman. I miss Roman Reloaded. I don't know, and the other thing was, I just felt like there weren't a lot of big performers. If you look at the Artist of the Year and the pop music video, all the big awards, there was Bruno Mars nominated, there was Ariana Grande nominated, there was just so many big artists named. Taylor Swift's music video premiered, and none of those artists were there. They were touring or off or doing something else, but where was Lady Gaga, Beyonce? I mean, there was just no big artists there. I think Ed Sheeran was probably the biggest name, really, but he's not that interesting a performer. I just felt like there weren't really, the names weren't there. And if they did have the big names, they were sitting out in the audience. The only big one, I think they had Pink and then Katy Perry, but then Katy Perry flubbed with the hosting duties. So I'm just like, I don't know, I miss the VMAs where we had, you know, the Kanye and Taylor Swift issues. We had Beyonce doing Single Ladies. We had Lady Gaga dangling from a rope from the ceiling. Like, we're missing the big performances and the big performers. I hope next year they can get the big names, because I would love for 24 Karat to be performed by Bruno Mars, even Ariana Grande to come out and perform. You know, we're just missing those big names that really draw the viewers. They wonder why these award shows aren't getting views. It's because they're not getting the big performers there. I don't know, I'm hoping for next year they realize the Video Music Awards, MTV has been known for, they're the hub for the big music videos. I know they don't play that many music videos anymore, but I mean, MTV is known for music videos. And that's why the VMAs were created, to honor these hit music videos, these iconic videos in the music industry. And when we don't have the show-stopping performances, it kind of defeats the purpose of the VMAs. So I think next year they need to get more names, you get more of those names performing, keep up with the Video Vanguard Award, because Pink's performance was probably the best of the night. And honestly, I don't think they need a host. They don't need a host. We've got these hosts in the past that have not really mattered, and I don't think VMAs need a host. You have the different people come present the awards and have people transition, and we have more performances. It eliminates the need of a host, because the show can keep moving and go on its own. People watch the VMAs for those musical performances, and the more of those we have, the more successful the show will be. So, I don't know, I'm hoping for 2018 the VMAs kind of take that advice into effect and it just becomes a better show, because this year, even though we did have good moments, the show wasn't as good as it could have been. I don't know, that's my thoughts on the VMAs. Tell me below what your favorite performance was, your favorite moment was. Who do you think did the best that night? Who do you think should have won? Let me know below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.